In this video, you're going to learn a new data type called maps. So this is a new ES6 data type. So before we dive in, let's understand the need for such a data type and what advantages it's going to provide us over existing data types. So let's create an object, car, with a couple of properties, make and model. So this is an object. Now let's speak about some limitations that come with the object's data structure. Now the keys of the object, they are actually restricted. For example, you can't use an object or a function as a key. Also, there is an iteration problem. When you iterate through the keys of the object, it's not guaranteed that you will keep the same key or property orders. So if I do for key in car log key, you're gonna get this. You get the make and the model, but actually it's not really guaranteed that you get that order, right? So the order is not guaranteed. Now also, you cannot use for each. So for each is a very useful method that you can use with arrays, but if you check the type of car dot this method for each, you will get undefined because simply it does not exist. All right. So to overcome these restrictions or limitations, in ES6 we've got a new data type which is called a map. So this data type will remove all those limitations, and you can use it as an alternative to using object literals for storing key value pairs that require unique keys and provide very useful methods for iteration. So let's start with a first example. So let's create a variable myMap where we're going to store a map. So you're going to use the map constructor like this. So if you log the output, you will just get an empty map. So that number shows the number of elements inside the map. Now when you create a map, you can specify the elements of the map straight away by using an array. So that's one way of doing it. So inside the array, you just place arrays including key value pairs. So for example, let's have a first array showing a key 1 and a value 2, another array with a key 3 and a value 4. So now you can see the structure that we get. Those are the keys and those are the values. All right, so now if you check the type of a map object, let's see what you're going to get. It's an object. Okay. Also, there are some useful methods that you can use with maps. So for example, you can delete an element. So let's say that we want to delete the element of key 1. So to do that, you just use the delete method and you specify the key as the parameter. So now if you log the map again, you'll see that that element has been deleted. All right. Now this will return true or false. So we'll return true if successful. And you can try that by logging it. And you can see that we're getting true. Also, you can clear the whole map by using the clear method. So this will delete all elements inside the map. And now we're back to square 0 and you've got an empty map. All right, now let's move to a second example and create a new map. So let's just comment this for now and create a new map using the map constructor. So this time we're not gonna use an array, right? An array of arrays, but we're gonna fill the map in a different way. So at the moment our map is empty. All right. And we want to fill the map using some elements. So to make things easy, what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a few variables where we're gonna store different data types, numbers, strings, objects, functions, and so on. And then we're gonna use those to fill our map. So let's define 3 variables, x, y, and z, where we're going to store different values. So a number, not a number, and a number. Also, let's create an object. So I'm going to call it language. And let's give it a couple of properties. So JavaScript and version. And also let's create a function. So let's use an arrow function syntax. So x plus y. Let's create a string saying something like build interactive websites, and let's create another one saying something like not a number is not equal to itself. But you will see that this will change when it comes to maps, and I will explain why later. All right, so now let's start setting the key values. So we're going to fill our map by using keys and values. So let's say that we want let's make a pair of x and z. So x is going to be the key and z is going to be the value. So to do that, you use the method set of the map objects. So key and then value. So now if you log your map, you'll see that we've got a new element there, key value. All right, let's try with the language object as the key and this string as the value. Here we go. So you've got an object as the key and the value as a string. So you can see that we are lifting all the limitations that we had with objects. So our key this time is actually an object, and there is a number. All right, so let's try something else. So the key this time, let's have it as a function, add, and the value, let's have it as, so this time let's create an array. Okay, and you can see that we've got a function as the key and an array as the value. All right, and let's have one more one. So this time let's have the key as not a number, y, and the value, let's have it as string 2. All right, let's save, and here we go. So this is our map filled with plenty of elements. All right, so now let's explore some more methods of maps or the map objects so we can get values or check if they exist. So for example, you can get the value corresponding to the key X using the get method. So get, you pass to it the key that you'd like to get, or the key corresponding to the elements you'd like to return, and it will return that element for you, or the value of that element. So we're looking for that key and we got that value. All right. So you can try with another key. So for example, well, let's try the same one. Right. So instead of X, we're going to use the literal value of X, which is 1, and we get the same results. Right. Because obviously X is equal to 1. Now you can check if a value exists. So to do that, you just use the has method, which will check if there is an element of key 1. So let's try that, and you get true because we've got an element of key 1. All right. Now let's try with something else. So let's try with the language objects, and we know that it's there. It's a key. It's right there. So we're getting the corresponding value, and it's returning true because it does exist. All right. So now, what if instead of language, you pass the literal value of the object language? So let's use get again, or let's keep it as and pass this for now. So do you think this is going to return true or false? So let's find out. So it's returning false because obviously language is not equal to that, even though you set the value of language to that. All right. Because as you know, an object is defined by reference, right? So here we're getting false because objects are not equal. So if you define a couple of objects using the same object literal, this is known that the two objects are not going to be equal because each object is creating a new reference in JavaScript. All right. So now let's try with something else. Let's try get of the function add. I'm guessing the corresponding value. Right. Let's try with not a number, and we're getting the corresponding value, which is this one. That's the key. Now, what if you try, instead of not a number, you try with the value or the variable where we stored not a number, which is y. And you get the same results. Now, that one and that one, they're actually not equal if you check the equality, because we know that not a number is not equal to itself. Right? So if you try console.log not a number equal not a number, you will get false. All right. But even though this changes when it comes to maps. All right. And if you try even with that, you will get false, even though y was set to be equal to not a number. So this is something to bear in mind. It wouldn't work with objects, because objects or object literals, because as we know, objects, they create a new reference every time you create them. But with not a number, it's going to be different. All right. So not a number is not equal to itself, but this changes when it comes to maps. So basically when you're checking the keys or trying to get elements corresponding to certain keys. All right, so now let's move to something else. Let's move to iteration. So we're going to use iteration with for off. So to do that, you can use destructuring. So for const key value like this of my map, log something like key is something, and value is value. All right, so if you try this, this is what you're going to get. So you're printing the keys and then you're printing the values. So this is one good example of destructuring used with a for off loop with maps. All right, so now if you try, instead of an array like this, you just try a value like that and you print the value. Let's see what you're going to get. You're getting all the values of the map as arrays. So each value is actually an array showing the key and the value. All right. So now let's just keep the first one using the structuring because that's the easiest way. Here we go. You can also use the for each method, which you used to use with arrays. So with maps, you can use it. So to do that, you just use for each like that, attach it to the map, and you pass to for each a function. So let's use an arrow function. So we're going to pass parameters to the function, key, and the value. So the first parameter is the key, and if you pass a second parameter, it's going to be the value. So this one is optional. So let's say that you're just gonna do something very similar to that. Okay, and you get the same results. And finally, just like you did with arrays, you can create an iterator out of a map. So let's define a variable k and create an iterator using entries, or the entries method. So if you log k, you will get an iterator, right? And this time it's a map iterator. And if you call next, or the next method, you keep getting the next element with the value and the done properties. And if you carry on, the final one is going to be undefined as you would expect. Just like you did with arrays, you can use the keys or values methods, right? So for example, with values, you get only the values. With keys, you get only the keys.